Yesterday, I told you to stop opening with the spreadsheet. And today, I'm going to show you what to open with instead. Because just be more human isn't a strategy. You need a structure, something that you can walk into with every conversation you have, whether it's a scheduled one-on-one or 5-minute pull aside. And then turn that meeting, that moment, into a development opportunity. 4 parts, same order every time. And once you learn it, you'll never go back to that compliance ritual again. 7 minutes, one truth, one execution move. If you're a leader who's tired of repeating yourself, tired of agreement without execution, and tired of carrying the emotional weight of everyone else's performance, then you're in the right place. I'm Chris Hunsaker, and this is the Dealership War Room. This isn't motivation. This is theory. This is a daily leadership briefing for people who actually have to produce results in the arena, at work and at home. You're in the war room now. Before I give you the structure, I need to draw a line that most managers have never seen. The line between coaching and correcting. Correcting said, you did this wrong. Here's how to fix it. Don't do it again. And that has a place. And we covered it in the accountability arc. But correcting manages compliance. It keeps the floor from falling. It doesn't raise the ceiling. Coaching says, here's what I noticed. What were you thinking in that moment? What would you do differently? And what's the next step in your growth? Correcting fixes a mistake. Coaching builds the person. Both are necessary, but if all you do is correct, you'll have a team that avoids mistakes and never takes risks. If all you do is coach, you'll have a team that's growing, but might not never meet the standard. Elite leaders know when to do which. And the structure I'm about to give you is for the coaching side. This is the ceiling raiser. Part 1, connect. 2 minutes. That's all it takes. And it's the part most managers skip because it doesn't feel like it's about work. And it's not about work. It's about the person. Hey, how are things going at home? How's your energy this week? Hey, tell me quick, what's something good that happened since the last time that we talked? Here's what connection does. Neurologically, when someone feels genuinely seen by their leader, oxytocin releases in their brain, trust increases. The amygdala, the threat detection center of the brain, it quiets down. And the prefrontal cortex, the part that's responsible for creative thinking and problem solving, it lights up and comes along. Connection isn't small talk. It's the neurological unlock that makes the rest of the conversation productive. And without it, the brain stays in defense mode. And a brain in defense mode can't learn, can't reflect, and can't grow. 2 minutes, genuine interest. Not a script, a practice. Part 2, discover. This is where you find out what's actually going on for the other person. Not just what the numbers say, but what that person sitting across from you is experiencing. 3 questions. 1, what's working well for you right now? Always start with this because it sets the tone. It tells the person this conversation starts with their strengths, not their gaps. And it activates what positive psychology calls the broaden and build effect. When people focus on what's working, their thinking expands, creativity increases. They become more open to the harder questions that follow. Hey, what's been challenging? That and this is where you listen, not to diagnose, not to fix, to understand. Let them talk. Let the silence breathe, because most of the time, the real answer doesn't come in the first sentence. It comes in the third, after the comfortable version, after the guarded version, the real one shows up. What do you need from me? This question changes the power dynamic of the entire conversation. It tells the person, I am not here to evaluate you. I'm here to serve you. And their answer will tell you more about what's actually happening on the floor than any spreadsheet or financial doc ever could. Part 3, develop. This is where the coaching actually happens. Based on what you discovered, pick one thing, not 5. One skill, one behavior, one growth edge that will make the biggest difference between now and the next conversation. Maybe it's how to present a multi-point to the customer or get an ASR. Maybe it's the confidence in walking a customer through a larger repair and asking for more money. Maybe it's their ability to ask for the sale without apologizing. But one thing, and here's the key, don't tell them what to do differently. Ask them what they think they could try. If you could do that interaction all over again, what would you change? What's one small thing you could try this week that might improve how that conversation goes? When the idea comes from them, they own it. People own what they help create. And when it comes from you, they comply with it. Ownership produces change. Compliance produces repetition. And the moment you let the team generate the solution, you've done something far more powerful than giving advice. You've built their confidence in their judgment. And that confidence compounds over time, just like interest in a bank. Part 4, commit. This is the part that gives the conversation a future. And without it, the one-on-one was just a nice talk that evaporates into the ether by the time they reach the door. With it, there's a thread that connects this conversation to the next one and the next one and the next one. Hey, based on what we talked about, what's one thing you're going to do before we meet again? Let them say it out loud in their words, not your assignment, their commitment. But you write it down. Both of you write it down. And when you sit down next time, start the conversation with the discovery phrase by asking, hey, last time you said you were going to do X. How'd it go? That's continuity. That's a developmental arc. That's the difference between a series of disconnected check-ins and a real coaching relationship that actually produces results. Connect, discover, develop, commit. 4 parts, same order, every conversation. And over time, this structure doesn't just improve performance, it builds a relationship where that person sitting across from you actually wants to be coached because they know you see them, all of them, good and bad. And they know you're invested, and they know that every conversation is building towards something, not just checking a box. Here is today's execution move. I call this the 4-part practice. Your next one-on-one, whether it's tomorrow or next week, use this structure. Write the 4 words on a sticky note and bring it with you. Connect, discover, develop, commit. Have it right in front of you. Follow your own script. 2 minutes of connection. Discover what's working, what's hard, and what they need. Develop one skill by asking, not telling, and commit to one action before the next conversation. Do it once, just once, but then notice the difference in how that person responds to the conversation, to the meeting, not just what they say. How do they sit? How do they breathe? Whether they lean in or they lean back. That difference is the difference between compliance and coaching, and you'll feel it the first time you try. If building this kind of coaching skill resonates with you, I invite you to go to chrishunsaker.com and explore what we're building for leaders just like you who want to become world-class in their coaching skills, not just managers with calendar invites. And if you know managers whose one-on-ones have become robotic and lifeless, send them this episode. 4 words on a sticky note might change how they lead forever. Because elite leaders don't just have meetings. They have designed, structured conversations that build people. Connect, discover, develop, and commit. 4 parts, but one structure. And a team that doesn't just perform, they grow, they compound. That is the kind of leader that you're becoming. And tomorrow, when we go in the war room, I'm going to show you the single most underrated skill in all of coaching. And it's the one that separates good managers from transactional leaders. It's not feedback. It's not accountability. It's asking better questions. So today, go out, create some leadership fire, use your 4-part structure, and I'll see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.